Welcome to GKey Solutions Private Limited.
SQL Server Integration Services, Classes and Real-Time Interview Questions and Answers. Part 26. How to create SCD Type2 Functionality by using individual components in SSIS. In this part of training, we are going to discuss about how to create SCD Type2 functionality by using individual components in SSIS. In SQL Server Integration Services, that is SSIS, SCD Type2, that is slowly changing dimension type 2, is used to track historical changes in dimension data. It preserves old records and adds new record whenever an attribute value changes. This approach ensures a complete history of how a dimension attribute have evolved over a time. Coming to the performance, using individual components will get performance in incremental data load in SSIS packages. Let us see how these individual components used to create SCD Type2 functionality. We are in SSIS, that is SQL Server Integration Services. Here I am trying to create a new package called SCD2 manual. That means we are using the individual components instead of using the SCD Type2 or SCD transformation. To do that, I am taking data flow task. Here, let us check the source and target tables. This is the source table, which is having 14 records, and this is the target table, which is having no data but having start date and end date, which are new columns apart from the source data. These start date and end date are going to use to track the history of the data in the dimension table. Let us say SCD Type2 manual table is kind of a dimension table. This is the source table. By comparing the source table, we are going to load the data into the dimension table. To create this SCD Type2 manual table, I have a script ready here as well. By using this script, I have created the table. Now, let us try to build the package to perform SCD Type2, that means to maintain the history of the data. For that, our source and targets are in SQL Server database. For that, I am taking SQL OLEDB source as a source connection. Here, I am taking this connection and coming to the table and view things. EMP SCD source is the source table, which is having 4 records like this, like 14 records like this. And here what we have to do is, by using the lookup transformation, I am going to divide the records based on matching and no matching records. Here I will be taking redirect routes to no match output, and coming to the connection, this is the connection which is already established, it has taken, and instead of a table or view, I will be taking this query. See, this is the query that I am going to use there. Instead of taking the table, I am taking this query, select star from SCD Type2 manual, where end date is null. Why? Because end date is null records are the active records. They are not closed yet. That's why we are taking this query. Right now there is no data in the table. Once we load some data, then we can know the difference about these things. I am taking this query here and coming to the columns. Here employee ID and employee ID is the matching column. That means joining column is employee ID, and I am taking salary from second like target table. And after this, what I am going to do is, I will be taking the conditional split transformation. Here from the lookup transformation, I am taking the match output. That means if the condition matches this condition, that means if employee ID from the source table is matches to the employee ID in the target tables, those things are get into this field. Here I am trying to create one condition. After this, these are the matching records. On matching records, I am trying to create one condition, that if salary is equal to T dot salary, that means source salary is not equal to target salary, then that record will get into the next phase of this flow. and then I'll be taking derived column. I'm going to derive based on this condition. Whatever once the condition is met, that means source salary is not equal to target salary, that record will come here. For that record, I'm going to give the end date. For this end date, I'm taking from date and time functions the get date thing. It will give the current date for this end date. And after that, I'll take OLEDB command. I'm connecting this OLEDB command here, and our target table also in the demo GKey database. That's why I'm taking this connection. And coming to the SQL command here, I have script ready. That means update SCD Type2 manual, set end date is equal to question mark, where employee ID is equal to question mark. That means whatever record is coming from the source table, for that we are updating the end date in the manual table, where employee ID is from source table. In such a way we are going to update here. Coming to the mappings, first parameter, see, first parameter is end date, second parameter is employee ID, we have to map that one, end date, and second parameter is employee number. And here all the matching records from the source have come here. From here, based on the condition, if the salary is not matching, it comes to derived column. In derived column we have created end date, and for end date we have given particular date here, and based on that like column we are just updating the target table, and we are going to take union or transformation from OLEDB source. Like from lookup, we are taking no match data. From the lookup, first output would be lookup match output, and next output would be lookup no match output. In that way we have designed this lookup transformation. Here we are connecting OLEDB command, and after this we are trying to give another derived column for the start date. Here I am providing start date. For this I am taking get date. Why? Because if the condition is not matching, means it is kind of a new record. For that new record we are giving a start date as get date, that is current timestamp. And after that, by combining these two things from the union all, we are going to load it to the destination table. For that we will be taking the OLEDB destination. Here we will be loading the data. SCD Type2 manual. If you come to the mappings are got. Now the creating a package completed. I'll try to explain it. This is the source which is having 14 records from employee table, and by using the lookup, here we are taking SCD Type2 manual data. We are referencing with this data. If there is any matches based on employee number found, it will get into this flow, and if is there any no match outputs are there, they'll get into this flow based on employee number and employee number. If employee number is not matched, that will get into lookup no match output. Then in conditional split, what I have done, I have created based on the salary updates, If it is source salary is not equal to the current salary which is updated in the source, then that will get into the OLEDB destination. Then we are updating that in the destination table. And these records and not matched records we are giving start date, and finally we are loading into the target table. Now let us check two tables, this source table and target table. Now source table is having 14 records. There are no records in the target table. First we load the data. First load would be the full load. That means there is no data in the dimension table. We are loading by using this package now. Now the data got loaded. In the first, there is no data in the target table. That's why if it compares employee number, there is no matching record found. That's why it get into the lookup no match output. 14 records are going to be inserted in the target table. Now source and target are having the same data. For start date we have given the get date and end date is null right now. Why? Because such a way we have designed the package here. Now we'll check the remaining thing. Okay, let's come. This is the source table. Here we are having employee number 7369 and this is a salary 800. What I'm trying to do is I am trying to update this salary. Updates the salary here by using a single command. Like I'll write a command update. The table name is like EMP source. Set salary is equal to 1000 where EMP number is equal to now one record got updated. Let us check the data. Now here instead of 800 the salary has been updated to 1000. That means salary has been updated to 800. What it is going to do now? We are trying to load the data by using the same structure. Now look at the data. Now based on the employee number lookup here, 14 records are matched. They have come here. There is no records from this side. And based on the conditional split, here we have updated salary. Now the source salary is not equal to target salary. Now one record got updated. That based on this conditional split condition, it has come to the derived column. Here we have derived end date is get date. That means we are ending that date for this record, and based on that record end date is going to be updated in the target. And by using the union all, there is no unmatched records from this side. There is only one record. That record is going to get the start date. It will be updated for this employee number. That means for this employee number there will be two records. One record with the start date and end date given, and second record start date and end date is null. That is going to be displayed now. Let us check the data in the target table now. See, now 7369 got updated for the end date. Why? Because this is the previous salary and 7369 is the latest salary is 1000 and it has given null value. In such a way, how many times the salary of this employee is updated, then if you run the package, then it will give those many records in dates, and finally there will be an active record. If the record is having ended as null, then that would be an active record. Next we'll check another condition. I am trying to insert a new record now. Here this is the table, source table that I am trying to insert a new record. Here employee number is 1000. In such a way I am trying to insert one new record. Now the new record got inserted. This is the new record. Now we'll go and check the package now. See, here in the package we are just referring with the joining column is employee ID and employee ID. 1000 is a new employee ID. That means it is not matching. It has to come this side, and in this flow that data is going to be inserted. Let us load this data by using this package. Here matching records are 14. That means employee ID matched records are 14, and one record is unmatched. That is a newly entered record that has come into this side, and for that, by using a derived column, we have given the start date, and end date would be null for that. There are no, by using the conditional split, here we are checking with the salary. There are no salary new updates here. That is why it has come this side. Let us check the data now in the target table, that is dimension table. Now see, new record got inserted. It has given start date and end date is null. If any updates happen in the salary, then end date is going to be have some date and another record is going to be created. In such a way, history is going to be maintained in the dimension table by using SCD Type2 functionality. Instead of using the individual, instead of using the SCD like slowly changing dimension transformation, we can use lookup, conditional split, derived column, OLEDB command, union all, and OLEDB destination or OLEDB source. These kind of individual components, by using these components also, we are getting the requirement. That means we can able to do the SCD Type2 functionality. That means new record can get inserted. If there any updates, we can maintain the history for that as well. In such a way, we can achieve SCD Type2 functionality by taking the individual components instead of SCD transformation. I think you got some idea about it. For the performance wise, if you use the SCD transformation, if it is having huge data, then it will give you some performance issues. Instead, you can go and create in this way by using individual components. You can prepare the SCD2 functionality. I think you got some idea about the SCDs here. Thank you.
Stay connected with GKey IT solutions on all your favorite platforms. Follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to stay updated with all our latest content. Join the GKey community and grow your IT career with us.